Okay. Probably Andy, this one's for you. I doubt that anyone else can be playing main heals unless you're sick or dying or something, just not there. So I'm just going to say Andy. You'll be playing, at least for this map, Mercy. I mean, let's be real. Okay. So the team starts off with Orisa, D.Va, Hanzo, Junkrat, and then Mercy Zen. So Mercy, Zen, Junkrat are at this spawn door. The reason for which is that while the other three, Hanzo, Orisa, D.Va, get onto the payload and start pushing it, Zen will be able to keep LOS on everyone. You'll be able to keep LOS on everyone. And Junkrat can jump across to here, get damage on anyone that's flanking in here, and that way you can also people that are flanking there. And so, like, I don't really need to make an instructional Mercy video, well, not instructional Mercy video for you. I haven't really done that for anyone else. It's more just like positioning in terms of where we should be in relation to the rest of our team and why, most importantly. So because you're good enough at this as it is, and positioning with Mercy is largely about being unpredictable and changing things and utilizing the positions of your teammates as the keyword, that I'm just going to tell you at different phases along the map where our teammate's going to be. So you're going to have up until payload gets just before the bridge, D.Va's going to be pushing the payload along. Get that like good 3 speed up until here. And then once it gets to about here, she is going to boost to here. And the reason she's going to do that is that she's going to provide damage to any shields that they have. And at the same time, if they're Orisa, hopefully speaking, they do have an Orisa. If they do, use Halt, then D.Va can eat that. Junkrat is going to be here. He's going to have control of this space, and he's going to be able to rebound shot into here, and he's also going to be able to rebound shot onto the enemy team. And so blah 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 blah, everyone keeps progressing, all that sort of stuff. And then once we get to this length here, like from here to there, your Junkrat's probably going to be here, Hanzo might be here, D.Va definitely will be here, and then other two will be here. And the reason for that is D.Va's presence here will make people make the wrong decision. Well, not the wrong decision. It'll force people to make potentially the wrong decision. If you've got a D.Va here, the smart move for the enemy team would be to huddle underneath this. And then the reason for us having a Hanzo here is that he can Sonic this. And then blah 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 blah, all that sort of stuff. And because we don't... you idiot, Robbie. So... Oh, it's like 1 AM. Okay.
I will protect the innocent.
Okay. And so once we've gotten over that bridge, hopefully they're playing really aggressively and we can shield break and get some environmental kills on them, because that always feels nice and juicy. Bam. Sorry, just OCD. Okay, and then pushing through this phase, probably going to have both our DPS on high ground, and then they'll be forced underneath here, and this is where we picked up. So you're going to be pushing the payload, you're going to have a junk that's like from the Junk's perspective, it's going to be clicking here and it's going to rebound and blump blump blump, and he's going to get shield damage and all that sort of stuff. And what I was talking about, 30 seconds ago before it restarted the game, was that it will force potentially someone to make an incorrect decision. And what I mean by that is that the smart move for the enemy team would be to sort of like retreat or get their shit together again in this sort of space. It's like really, really. This reminds me of Hotel on King's Row, in that if you're on defense and you're defending here, and then they've got too much pressure, and so you sort of wind your way back through here, and that works out pretty well. But there's going to be one idiot, because there always is, that decides that instead of going underneath and then sort of going behind and that sort of thing, that they're going to just hang around here somewhere, in which case our DPS are going to do stuff there. So, you can utilize our DPS being around here. Yeah, and then eventually our DPS are going to move to here, and, well, probably our D.Va and Hanzo, or D.Va and Junkrat. I haven't quite decided. Probably D.Va and Junkrat, because Hanzo will need to be a bit more of a bodyguard for Zenyatta. Okay. And then we really want to just keep these high grounds, because as soon as you have these two high grounds, of this square, we have the bottom L shape, if that makes sense, L. Yeah, so these two sides of high ground, and it essentially punishes them for having gathered in this space here. But it also provides a fairly good mode of defense against their re-pushing of this spot. If you've got a Hanzo shooting from here, that's really good, right? And then if they provide him with too much, if they get a shot off on him or something like that, he can just jump off, and then he's got a health pack, and then he can just zip, do his wall running thing, and then there he is again. Easy. And so all that, and we're trying to utilize high grounds as much as possible, and then hopefully, the aim is to have our D.Va here while they're, say if there's a brawl that happens here, which is something that's really common, or along this small phase, then having a D.Va here is really good, because she can just sort of do stuff, and yes, she will probably get damage from someone over here, so don't hit this railing, but if there's a Rein Zarya, she'll be able to look and potentially catch a grav, hopefully catch a grav, but she'll also be able to sort of distract, visually speaking, and give you some line of sight on a vertical sort of ground. So the aim of this is that at no point apart from the very, very end are we gonna not utilize high ground. So I really want us to utilize high ground as much as possible, because there is a lot on this map, and since we play it plat, we don't really ever do it unless we're sort of conditioned to do so, if that makes sense at all. I don't know if it does. If someone says oh, use this high ground in particular because it's really good for XYZ, and then you go, oh, yeah, okay. Whereas, a lot of the time someone that's playing Hanzo or Junkrat would just sort of stay on the ground and sort of shoot from here instead of, get up here, still have cover and shoot. So, blah, 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 blah. You can sort of do your own thing through here. For this stage, I might actually, for this particular streets bit, it might also help playing Moira. Just because having that linear push is ridiculously helpful once you use Coalescence, which generates itself every 10.3 seconds, and you'll still be able to heal Zen, because he won't if Zen's here because he's got good sight lines, then you'll still be able to heal him, right? Or if he's that sort of thing. And Zen is still able to heal any of the big squishy. Yeah. And so at this point, once we've sort of established that we've won this small leg, they're probably going to try and fight on the corner, because everyone does that. We really want to utilize high ground, so preferably having a Junkrat here. If he's got a trap in the middle of this doorway, then he can see that doorway, essentially, because he's got the marker for the trap. And if someone shoots it, then he knows that someone's trying to get in. So this is a really good Junkrat spot. And they don't have really good Widow sights. If they do, then he can just sort of, huh? And they can't really see him anymore. So it works out. Yeah. And so you can potentially fly up to him if you ask him just to, like, Junkrat step backwards. We'll need to practice that because we're plat. And then, yeah, once we get around to this point, you as Mercy or... Okay, I'll run two different scenarios because you can handle it. So there's the Mercy scenario, in which case there's going to be a D.Va here. I mean, there's going to be a D.Va here anyway, but it'll just be harder for you to heal her as Moira. Okay, I'm done, I promise. So you'll still be able to do your thing, like fly between people, fly between Junkrat, if necessary. At this point, Junkrat will be here. I did some tests where if you shoot Junkrat nades sort of like this, then they can fly down in like a pretty fucking good arc that like annihilates these stairs, or punishes people that are going up the stairs, more to the point. So if there's like an idiot Reaper that's going to do a Death Blossom, then, you know, you can do your thing. As Junkrat, I mean. And so there's preferably going to be someone here. And so you'll be able to fly up to them if you're Mercy, or if not, then Zen can heal them and you've got the main line. And the idea for this, which sounds weird but is kind of doable, is that you can... Oh god, what's wrong with me? Is that, ideally speaking, you'll use Coalescence here, and they'll probably have like another scrappy fight somewhere around here, and then you'll be able to use another Coalescence here. And like that'd really seal the deal in terms of progressing to get this next cap without putting in a whole lot of effort, if that makes sense. Okay, now for this particular spot, once we've capped this area, a lot of the time enemies love to hang around here. You know, makes sense because you got a shield kind of with this platform. There we are. So they've sort of got their own shield. They can just click, 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 and that's really irritating. So the idea that we had was Zen in this doorway, main tank here, Hanzo up top so that he can always jump back or jump to the side to get heals, and then having our D.Va a little bit more advanced, maybe shutting down this flank, like sort of trying to contest this area. This will probably be the part that needs like the most attention as a healer, purely because they'll want to be contesting this as well, because, you know, if D.Va's standing here trying to secure this spot, then they can instantly see her before anyone else. So it would probably be, I don't know, if I was playing Mercy and I had a Hanzo here and a D.Va here and the rest underneath, no, I'd probably still be behind payload, just heal, 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 heal everything. Okay, so once we progress to this, we're trying to push it forward a little bit so the payload's about here, because we'll have a Junkrat and a Hanzo making a crossfire, like from here to here. So this zone is ours. And then the aim is to have in these little arcades here, these arcades, to have Junkrat claim this, or contest, not so much contest this, but literally claim it. Like he can claim this room so easily, you know, if he just sort of goes like bang, 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 then he's taken this room. And if we give him like a little bit of help, then he'll take this space and this room, which is really good because it sets up this entire flank for the rest of the point. So you want to keep this as much as possible. This is like the highest priority because it's also closest to their spawn. And then once the payload starts to swing around into the final stretch, probably we'll still have Junkrat there, we'll have Orisa there, probably Zen either on payload or here. Sort of depends where Hanzo and stuff is, but Zen would probably be here. And then like for the rest of this you can probably figure out, you know, like would you use Coalescence or would you use Falk? It's sort of like, you know, would you rather kill yourself with a bread knife or a butter knife? They're both the same thing, kind of. Except one hurts a lot more. Anyway. Yeah. So, like, in terms of the brawly situation that tends to happen here, you can probably figure the rest of that out. But I think the reason I made this video is more so that, like, yes, we could figure out, you know, bits that we wanted to prioritize or areas that we wanted to prioritize taking control of, but also so that we knew where our teammates were taking control of it. This is a really nice architectural feature. It's actually extremely common in Venetian buildings because the buildings are sinking and the walls are concaving outwards. It's just a really cute little architectural detail. Anyway, that's a real tower. We're in Venice. This is not real. Sorry, like, I'm done. Yeah. Okay, bye.